Hey budgeteers, Budgeteer Brandon had a request that he was looking for a bi-weekly budget spreadsheet and wondered how to convert the Microsoft Excel sheet that I already provide into a bi-weekly spreadsheet. Well, I've done it for you, and I'm going to start including it in the email that goes out with the budget template. So if you'd rather have a bi-weekly spreadsheet, go ahead and head over to budgetwithquincy.com, ask for the downloads again. When it sends over, you'll see one now that says bi-weekly. Download that and then watch this video to learn a little bit more how the bi-weekly one works, and the other videos to see how the whole budget template works, because it's still the same, just with a bi-weekly component. Here we go. I'll show you how it's done. All right, budgeteers, so here we have it. This is the new bi-weekly setup in the exact same budget template. So you'll notice that a lot of what you do is exactly the same. So what you'll need to do is you'll actually need to go and watch the budget help videos first. Make sure you understand all of these and how to use it, the expense tracker, bucket accounts, monthly tabs, all of that, because it's very important still. Once you've learned how to do that, then we'll jump over into here, and this will be the last video if you're doing a bi-weekly budget that will show you how to do it as a bi-weekly budget. So here's what I've done to change it around and make it a bi-weekly budget for you. Instead of having months being months, in fact, I'm going to change this right now because I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm going to call it period. And so what you'll do is, instead of typing in a month here, like January, February, March, it's going to be period 1 through period 26. So in a given year, there are 52 weeks approximately. And so in a given year, you should have 26 periods, and this budget template will support 26 periods. If there's ever a time you have 27, you will need to move into a new budget spreadsheet and start a new one. So period 1, year 2017, this is my date range, 2 weeks, July 31st, 2017 to August 13th, 2017. So period 2 will subsequently be August 14th, and then whatever 2 weeks from that is, that will be how it's done. So with that, that is how you'll now do this. So period 1 is just a 2-week period. So now you can budget for your 2-week period. So typically I budget income at $4,000 per month, but let's say I do it bi-weekly, I can now do a $2,000 budget. I've already put in $12 as an actual, just as a test, so we'll remove that and I'll show you where that's at. Debts, so if you have a credit card payment, let's say that in period 1 you don't pay it, but in period 2 you do pay it. So in period 1 I would just leave it at 0, but then when I go to create period 2 and I'm budgeting for that, maybe I have a $50 payment. So for easy's sake, let's just say period 1 has a $50 payment. You can see it does the same thing. And this way you can break it all out into 2 different weeks. Your weekly food budget and everything here is exactly the same, but days in week 1 being 4 is going to allow you to basically say, instead of having 4 weeks, maybe you're just going to have 2, or whatever it may be that's going to make it better. Then you can say, let's have a weekly amount of $50 that we spend. You'll notice now it'll only do weeks 1 and 2 in your period. So that will give you a 2-week period to have that in there. You can also have more if you want. We can call these something different, and you can change those around, just the names themselves, but that's on the Start Here tab. You can move those yourself. So instead of having this be January 2017, you'll now notice it says period 1, 2017. Jumping over to bucket accounts, you'll notice that it is period 1 through 26. So now when you're building your buckets, you're not building them by month, you're building them by 2-week period, and it works exactly the same as it did before. Jumping over to the expense tracker, you track it exactly the same. Period 1, 2017, the 15th. Now if you want to change this so that you have an actual date so that you remember, this actually doesn't influence anything. So if you desire to, you could say 7/31, 2017. That won't ruin anything. That way you can know what date it was. You can put in your amount, and that's that $12 you're seeing in period 1 here. But let's go ahead and we'll change it to income 1. And let's change this to $2,000. So now if we jump to period 1, you will see that your income matches your actual with a difference of 0, which is great. So now you can budget by a 2-week period instead of a 1-month period just by using this spreadsheet. So to create the next tab, it's exactly the same process as you did before. Right-click on the tab, move or copy, create a copy, click the one right after the period, hit OK. It creates a second tab. You're going to rename the tab as period 2, 2017. Again, no space in there. Hit enter, and then change this, and you'll watch here this actual is $2,000 currently, but when I change this to period 2, that $2,000 will go away, and it says you're on your next week. So nothing is in here. You'll have to go to your expense tracker. You'll have to put in period 2, 2017, and let's say you make $1,800 this time as income 1. When you look at period 2, you'll see that you made $1,800 for a difference of $200, but in period 1, you made exactly what you thought you'd make, ending with an actual amount of $2,000 because you had no expenses. So in period 2, your $2,000 will roll over, and you will make an extra $1,800 with, again, no expenses entered, so $3,800 will be your ending balance. This is the biweekly budget template. I will save it on there, and the email will now include the biweekly budget template, so if you'd like to download that one instead, or also feel free to go ahead and do that as well. We'll see you next time, budgeteers.